Hi, my name is Dustin Wilson, and today I'd like to walk you through this project that I've been working on for the Automate for Good Hackathon over the last couple of weeks. So what I wanted to do was make a really simple JupyterHub deployment that uses EC2 autoscaling nodes, Docker Swarm, and Chef. And what I found is that I was inspired to do this because what I found was that JupyterHub has sort of two very polarized deployment patterns, either on a single VM, which is great if you have the machine, but it'll probably be underutilized for a large portion of the time, and on Kubernetes, which requires a lot of specialized knowledge and might be a little bit of a hassle if you're just trying to set up some notebooks for a lab session for a class. Jupyter notebooks are great, but once you get into sort of this distributed environment, it can get a bit more complicated. So I use GitHub Actions to do pretty much all of my CI. This involves using HashiCorp Packer to build out Chef node, worker, and workstation images, Terraform to deploy VPCs, security groups, subnets, worker instances, so the autoscaling group instances, as well as the Chef server, the Chef workstation, and the hub leader, which does DNS resolution to the JupyterHub, all of which are permanent, of course, and then Chef to actually configure the nodes for the hub leader and the hub workers. JupyterHub depends on a container to actually run all analysis in if you're using a Docker Swarm spawner, which is what I'm using in this example. So when there are changes to the analysis container that we want our users to be able to use, those changes are pushed as well. The hub also depends on some static configuration files that contain things like how do you do OAuth, what image do you spawn, things like that. This is also managed via CI. Can look into this with a little bit more detail, but these Chef nodes are managed by the Chef server. This one is permanent. The autoscaling groups are not. All of them attach. Chef essentially just attaches EFS and starts Docker on the workers, as well as starting Docker, starting the hub process, starting Nginx, doing DNS resolution, or not doing DNS resolution, but creating a cert for that domain and allowing it to be reachable at notebooks.maphub.dev, which is where I'm running this deployment right now. So if I log in as a sample user, I've already logged in, so we can see that their container was actually still running, but we have a Jupyter notebook as well as some sample data. And because I'm using a container that's got sort of geospatial utilities in it, we already have a lot of the stuff that you typically would have to pip install. We could also change our base container to include like PyTorch or finally, I'd just like to log in as a second user in the new browser so we can see that a new container is being spawned. This will take a few seconds. So we see that the server is ready, and now we've got access to the same container that our first user had. This was a really enjoyable project. Thanks for listening. Bye.